in a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers. The final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss. There wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever, and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody called the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds,
keep an eye on Maivia.
Steel cage match underway. Peter Maivia versus George the Animal Steele. Most of the matches between Peter Maivia and George Steele have ended inconclusively, but this time we'll have a winner.
These are two very different men, Cole. The High Chief is a man of great pride and respect for the ring, while Steele is, well, he's an animal. I can't think of two opponents with more opposing styles.
You said it, Corey. Let's just hope this one gets taken care of in the ring tonight. Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steele as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and...
Look at it, put him away.
A kick out. This one's not over yet. Love the confidence, but it's a little early for that. Oh, man.
He's eyeing the top of the cage as he starts his climb.
Look at it. Keep steady. Keep balanced.
Going to ascend the cage. And now perched at the top of the steel cage.
He just got sent flying off the cage. We just witnessed a human being practically go through the mat.
He's trying to escape. He's got to give everything he has to push himself over the top.
Oh, he's almost there. He better move.
George Animal Steele is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true... Watch out!
Completely missed the mark there. Big forearm. Stiff elbow will break that up. Clinic of counters being put on by these competitors. Letting him get to a standing base, moments away from having him exactly where he wants. Oh, jarring uppercut. Using the cranium. And into the corner he goes.
Oh, and a headbutt.
And I think that just opened him up. Yep, certainly did. Goodness, look at the blood flowing.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian. And the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan. When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in... From the heavens, splash from the top.
Maivia overwhelming his opponent here.
Yeah, Maivia has really figured the animal out here. Back and forth, trading reversals. Oh, my gosh! Maivia just dominated the animal with that one. Watch out! Big collision on the splash.
We've seen that Steele isn't above using a foreign object to gain the edge against Maivia. So he's got to have the advantage in a match where they're surrounded by one huge weapon, right?
Well, you'd think that, Cole, but think about how these men prepared for this match. The High Chief is a consummate professional who's game planned for this stipulation. And Steele, well, I think he just shows up to the arena and asks who he's fighting.
George the Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steele's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage. Well, Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready for what the animal will throw at him, even inside a cage.
Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
And you can see Steele is struggling to weather the storm with the High Chief. Oof. But here comes the... George is tied up here. Backbreaker. No way Steele's coming back from that.
Peter Maivia very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows? Maybe we'll see the Maivia name on Hollywood billboards again sometime. Well, before any of that happens, the High Chief needs to survive this war against the animal. Great trouble here. Can he get it fully locked in? A stump puller.
It's in deep, the leg bending awkwardly.
And it's just too much. Has to submit. Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief, Peter Maivia.
George Steele is...
She's not like most girls. She's also not like most WWE superstars. Nia Jax, the reigning queen of the ring, is a reckoning, a force of nature that blitzes right through her competition. A cousin of The Rock, Nia Jax arrived in NXT almost 10 years ago with astronomical expectations. Undaunted, Nia Jax would dominate early opponents, finding herself competing for the NXT Women's Championship mere months after her debut. It did not take long for those running Raw and SmackDown to take notice.
Well, our next pick, Nia Jax.
And Nia Jax would join the Raw roster as part of the 2016 draft lottery. And since joining the main roster, absolutely no one has been safe from Nia Jax. She is a two-time women's champion. She is a two-time women's tag team champion. She competed in the men's Royal Rumble match in 2019, even getting an elimination while in the ring.
Nia Jax looking to eliminate. She does.
She's battled standouts like Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky Lynch. And all the while, she has left undeniable destruction in her wake. In the ring, she applies many of the same tactics that once benefited Yokozuna, even using her own version of the Banzai Drop, known as the Annihilator. And just like its namesake, if it connects, your night is over. And Nia Jax remains driven for even more success, jumping at any opportunity to prove her dominance. This last year, that included entering into the 2024 Queen of the Ring tournament after earning victories over Naomi, Jade Cargill, and Bianca Belair. Nia Jax would fight her way into the finals, taking on former NXT Women's Champion Lyra Valkyria. Valkyria built a lot of momentum, defeating Dakota Kai, Zoe Stark, and Io Sky to punch her ticket into the final at the Queen and King of the Ring. With an obvious game plan, Lyra would look to stick and move, avoiding the colossal attacks of her opponent. Unfortunately, as often happens when competing against Nia Jax, Lyra made one miscalculation, and that error in judgment provided Nia Jax with the opening she needed to annihilate her competition. This is your opportunity to crown the first queen in Bloodline history. Make Lyra suffer. Make her regret ever entering your ring. Showcase the otherworldly power that forces an entire roster to cower in your presence. Because when you're an irresistible force like Nia Jax, resistance is futile.
And now a dark horse will face an unforgiving titan in hopes to don the crown. Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax in the Queen of the Ring Finals.
The following is the final match in the Queen of the Ring Tournament. Introducing first, from San Diego, California, Nia Jax.
I cannot wait to witness what unfolds here. The irresistible force has been on a tear recently. And Nia believes the crown already belongs to her. Will Jax's menacing presence and sheer power be too much for Valkyria to overcome? Or can Lyra write a happy ever after ending to her Cinderella story?
Lyra Valkyria fancies herself a Morgan, which is an Irish goddess of war. As they were on the battlefield, they used to take the shape of ravens to fly around and decide who would live and who would die. That is what Lyra Valkyria is bringing to the ring here tonight.
And her opponent, from Dublin, Ireland, Lyra Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria may have read a little too much fantasy in her day, and now is reality. Lyra Valkyria is about to go toe-to-toe with a real-life, fire-breathing dragon in the form of Nia Jax. Nia Jax, who's in the best physical condition of her career, tonight will make someone. Will it be Lyra? Will it be Nia? We'll find out in a matter of moments.
And guys, you win the crown. Guess what waits for you in August?
A date with the champion of your respective brand at SummerSlam.
And it's all come down to this, the finals of the 2024 Queen of the Ring tournament, Jax Valkyria. And Nia now misses wildly. Lyra goes up over the top. Nia's got it caught, though.
Lyra trying to rely on her technique to bring down the irresistible force, but having no luck at the moment.
I'm not sure this is going to work either.
Jax just entirely too strong, but whoa!
That was interesting.
Oh, nice athleticism by Valkyria. Even Jax might be a little impressed.
I wouldn't go that far, Saxton. Here comes Nia, just imposing her will on Lyra Valkyria.
Again, Lyra showing how resourceful she is, applying the sleeper to Nia Jax. Lyra tried to hold on.
And now Nia Jax in control, and she's going to look to put Lyra away. Nobody home! Set outside the ring, and Valkyria's got a chance.
Huge window of opportunity. Right now for Lyra Valkyria to strike. Lyra may actually pull this off. Lyra may become queen. Lyra has the advantage. She has Nia reeling.
But Lyra can't win Queen of the Ring with Jax on the outside. This match has to end in the ring.
Nia Jax, Lyra Valkyria facing off in the finals of the 2024 Queen of the Ring tournament. Who will take home the crown? Each woman here has had a tough road to become a Queen of the Ring finalist. Every matchup in this bracket has been a toss-up.
Valkyria knocked off former women's champion Io Sky earlier this week, but Nia's had an even tougher challenge. Two great former champions in the form of Naomi and Bianca Belair.
Even more impressive than that, she handed Jade Cargill her first WWE loss.
Granted, Corey, that was a disqualification victory for Jax. I'd say there's still some unfinished business between Nia and Jade. Well, if you're Lyra Valkyria, what do you do to pull off a massive upset tonight?
Well, Lyra's a technical wizard, Cole. In fact, from a technique perspective, she may actually have Nia Jax outgunned. And beyond relying on her technique, if I'm Lyra, I'm going to try to frustrate Nia. I don't know how possible that is, but if you frustrate Nia, she may make a crucial mistake.
Confidence is always a key for Nia Jax. She comes into every match thinking she hasn't won.
But when you have this business in your blood like Nia does, that confidence is genetic.
But ever since the Irresistible Force returned to WWE 8 months ago, her confidence has been on another level.
And she's gaining even more confidence as this match progresses. Jax may just be unstoppable now.
Nia Jax has complete control here.
And the Irresistible Force is haymaker after haymaker.
That can make it ugly for her.
Nothing pretty here, just good old-fashioned fisticuffs.
Two titans trading strikes and refusing to back down.
Put into the corner. What could be next?
Draped into the deadly Tree of Woe position. Didn't go to plan for Jax. In just a matter of minutes, we'll have our second Queen of the Ring. The first, of course, being Zelina Vega.
But you've got to believe that Zelina will want a shot at whichever woman wins this. She beat the woman now known as Piper Niven that night, so you know Queen Zelina can strike down an enemy of any size. Prime example of working smarter, not harder. That's what I say.
And at this point, Nia just punishing Lyra.
This is exactly the pace the Irresistible Force likes.
Nia looking to end this thing.
Great power, crashing down.
Samoan drop. There's so many moves at Nia's disposal that she can end this.
Valkyria crushed in the corner by Jax.
Squashing Lyra in the corner, and the beginning of the end may be near. And Nia now, with Lyra on her back, going to climb up to the second rope.
This is a scary situation for Lyra. Oh, look at this. Maybe not.
No way. There's no way.
Oh, my.
Oh, no. Good night, Annihilator.
Here is your winner and the new Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax.
What a victory to the brand new Queen of the Ring.
Nia said she would do it, and she backed up her claims.
And now the Chief Content Officer of WWE and Triple H going to come in to congratulate Nia Jax and officially crown her the Queen of the Ring.
Absolute dominance by the new Queen.
I'm sure you will agree with your wise man. Many WWE superstars say they will do whatever it takes in order to achieve success. Quite often, it's a bunch of BS. But if you're lucky, you may run into someone who is willing to look out for the group. Someone willing to make sacrifices. And for this family, there was no one better than Rikishi. After the Head Shrinkers run in WWE came to an end, Rikishi, then known as Fatu, would go on a journey of self-discovery. This journey would lead to him taking on the name Rikishi, a subtle nod to his cousin Yokozuna, as well as an opportunity to start fresh with a global audience.
Well, my dad, you know, when he became the Rikishi character, when you think about Samoan wrestlers, right, or mean, or aggressive, he made it like his own flavor, right? You know, he had the blonde hair, still carried the aggressiveness, but I think he just wanted to add like a little flavor to it. It became even more popular to our culture.
Rikishi blitzed WWE from the jump, devastating opponents with new tricks and winning people over with his fat-ass dance moves.
That Rikishi is fat, all right. P-H-A-T.
And with this wave of newfound momentum came even more success, with Rikishi capturing the WWE Intercontinental Championship and displaying incredible athleticism in iconic moments like when he dove off the top of the steel cage. The year 2000 belonged to Rikishi. But little did anyone know, Rikishi held a dark secret regarding a decision he'd made not for his own benefit, but for the benefit of the family. It was at the 1999 Survivor Series that Stone Cold Steve Austin was hit by a car in the arena parking lot, forcing him from the main event later that night for the WWE Championship. For nearly a year, all of WWE was consumed with figuring out who was driving that damn car and why Austin was targeted in the first place. The verdict came in. The car was driven by Rikishi. Rikishi would stand strong. WWE preferred Steve Austin to The Rock, and so Rikishi had made sure that The Rock's only competition had been removed from the picture. Rikishi sacrificed his own popularity to reach this goal. The Rock thrived while Austin was on the shelf. For Rikishi, the struggle and fall was all worth it. Rikishi knew that he would eventually have to face off with the Texas Rattlesnake to answer for his sins, and he welcomed that meeting with open arms. What Rikishi was unprepared for was for WWE to stack the deck entirely, looking to make Rikishi pay for taking out their golden goose. Stone Cold Steve Austin was allowed to drive his truck directly to the ring and was generally given the freedom to do whatever the hell he wanted in the name of revenge. We are going to make things right. This time, when Rikishi and Stone Cold Steve Austin lock horns, there will be no stacking of the deck. Someone willing to give of himself so that his family, this family, can succeed, deserves better. So get in there and showcase the never say die spirit that has led this family to victory time and time and time and time and time and time again. Use whatever weapon you can get your hands on and prove to Stone Cold Steve Austin that you will do anything for the people.
Is it legal to not show up? Rikishi has brutalized Austin lately.
Austin will be here, Byron. I just refuse to think anything else.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. That is a no-holds-barred match. Introducing first, from the...
Is he here?
Well, there's the Rattlesnake's music.
He's here. Austin's here.
Stone Cold.
It's a miracle Austin survived being run over by Rikishi. Now a pissed off Texas Rattlesnake is on the loose and out for revenge.
It took Austin almost a year to recover from the injuries he suffered in that heinous attack. You can't blame Austin for the damage he inflicts on Rikishi tonight.
Byron, a lesser man wouldn't have survived. Stone Cold promised that Rikishi's days of walking above ground are over. This is no holds barred.
Flying senton from the apron. Someone get the spatula. We have a human being to scrape up.
And looking at my monitor, it just makes me sick to my stomach watching Rikishi. This is a man who has no remorse and feels justified for running Austin down like a dog.
Look, to be devil's advocate, you've got to look at Rikishi's perspective. He's proud of his Samoan lineage and saw an opportunity to give his people a leg up in the Shark Tank that is WWE.
Oh, are you serious, Corey? Rikishi ran over another human being. We're fortunate that it only put Austin on the shelf for 10 months instead of his whole life. It's sick that you would even condone what Rikishi did.
Don't twist my words, Saxton. I'm not saying I condone Rikishi's actions. I'm just saying I understand them.
This conflict is beyond disturbing. Corey, let's go into Rikishi's mind when it comes to defeating Stone Cold.
Rikishi has to be prepared to endure an emotional storm like he's never felt before. The big man must recover from that and use his weight to immobilize the Rattlesnake, because we know Austin will not stay down.
And though The Rock wants nothing to do with this altercation, we have to mention the sadness Rikishi has brought to him.
Rock might be innocent in this whole ordeal, but I feel that somewhere inside his soul, The Rock is happy with what Rikishi's done. The Rock is proud to have Rikishi and his family.
No, Corey, what kind of lies are you trying to spread? We've heard Rock say Rikishi deserves what Austin is going to bring him. There's no family pride in that statement.
I'm just saying that blood is thicker than water, and it's been an easier ride for Rock without Austin in the picture. And that's thanks to Rikishi.
Sounds more like Rikishi is trying to take credit for all the Rock's success. The Rattlesnake's being picked apart.
No one holding Rikishi's family down now, taking out all those on Austin here.
Here he comes, sliding back into the ring. Stepping out of the ring here.
Austin firing up the crowd. They're ready to see him raise a little hell.
Returning back to the ring.
Oh, no, not the ref.
We've talked so much about motives leading into this match. In my view, Rikishi's are delusional. His family have been given equal opportunity.
Austin and Rikishi trading heavy artillery on the outside, and here comes the rattlesnake.
Stone Cold Steve Austin fired up and revenge on his mind.
You got to think about how bad Austin has wanted this ever since Survivor Series last year. Been dying to get his hands on Rikishi.
All of that venom, all the vitriol inside of Austin being unleashed on Rikishi right now.
Remember, this is no holds barred. Anything goes.
Austin has Rikishi down. The rattlesnake is red hot. And do you hear this capacity crowd? They want more from Stone Cold. All but he wants to see Rikishi get beaten down like a pile of human filth.
And we know how despicable Rikishi has been. But to throw vinegar on the rattlesnake's nest, Rikishi goes and destroys Austin's truck with a sledgehammer.
Oh, hell hath no fury like a man who has his car tampered with. It's just extra motivation for every fist Austin lands in this fight.
The Russian leg sweep. Austin is like a man possessed. It's been almost a year since Austin's been in the ring.
Austin just looking to humiliate his opponent.
Rikishi feeling the pride of his family with every ounce of damage he delivers to Stone Cold. Scary mindset for the rattlesnake. Austin has scattered pictures of Rikishi all over his home. Said that every time he looks at Rikishi, he's looking at a dead man.
Yeah, Rikishi taking that as an empty threat, thinking that Austin isn't the man he claims to be. But trust me, when Stone Cold says he has you in his crosshairs, that's no empty threat.
He'll make his way to the ring. And now Austin ragdolled to the outside. He's leaving the ring now. No countouts to worry about.
Targeting his stomach.
A show of confidence from Rikishi.
He's out of the ring. What does he have in mind now? Sliding back into the ring. He gets sent straight down to the floor.
There's been a lot of vitriol coming from fans towards Rikishi these past few weeks. And this Albany crowd.
And Rikishi slows Austin down with a thunderous right.
Austin's in trouble. And now steel chair. Oh, and Austin, he just averted disaster there.
And now Austin gonna deliver the punishment with the steel chair.
A relentless Texas rattlesnake beating the brakes off of Rikishi with a steel chair.
And again, thunderous blows by Austin. Down goes Rikishi. Austin beating the hell out of him.
I know Austin has good reason to be doing all this, but he could be taking it too far at this point.
I don't think the rattlesnake is taking it far enough, Corey. Austin wants to put Rikishi's life in danger, just like Rikishi did to him.
And he now slides back into the ring.
The rattlesnake heads up high.
From the top.
Oh, crash and burn.
The high risk just resulted in a big splat.
And he heads back into the ring.
Austin with Stone.
Nobody recovered when Austin
Here's
hits
the
that.
pin. Oh, kick out. Oh, my God.
What just... I can't.
Agreed, Saxton. Looks like there's no limit to how much damage this superstar's been. tenacity on display from Stone Cold. Austin simply refuses to quit.
That was the best weapon in the arsenal. Clothesline. Gonna duck underneath. Big back body drop. Gonna turn this thing around into a massive spine buster.
And that was just as devastating as a sledgehammer to Austin's truck. Such thunderous impact.
Stone Cold reverses.
A masterful display of defense from both wrestlers.
Shoulders are down.
Breaks the close count.
Good Lord, scarily close to 3.
No, nothing fancy here.
Instant victory.
Done. Shoulders up before 2.
We are this far into the match. Where is this energy coming from? Austin dodges that one.
Both athletes showing incredible reflexes here.
Stone Cold too slow there.
Taking a moment to get pumped off of this crowd's incredible energy.
Rikishi hoisting up his opponent.
Rikishi driver.
Rikishi got all of it. Cover. We have a cover.
2. Rikishi somehow defangs the rattlesnake. Damn it. This is not what many of us expected to see. We wanted to see retribution, but Rikishi was too much of a monster for Stone Cold tonight.
The vitriol that consumed Rikishi powered him to finish the job and leave a battered Austin in his rear-view mirror.